on your nomination. As part of my responsibilities to ensure the fitness of any nominee who comes before any of my committees, I ask the following two initial questions. Since you became a legal adult, have you ever made unwanted requests for sexual favors or committed any verbal or physical harassment or assault of a sexual nature?
No, I have not.
Have you ever faced discipline or entered into a settlement related to this kind of conduct?
No, I have not.
I would just like to note that Hawaii also does not have a full-service VA hospital, and like Alaska, has access issues with 7 inhabited islands and veterans living on all of them. So those are all issues that, we're going to need to continue to address. Congressman, you are very close to President Trump, both as a member of the House and since that time. Under what circumstances would you say no to a request or order from President Trump?
Senator, we're dealing in hypotheticals of saying this president would actually ask me to do something illegal. I'm not going to a hypothetical because this president has put veterans first. He's not going to ask me to do anything illegal or outside the current of the law. And I think the question implies something that's not happened, and I don't need to worry about a hypothetical.
Excuse me. I think we need to make sure where, what your priorities are, and you are saying that you will not say yes to what you consider an illegal order. Next
Senator,
question. During your time in public life, you have been very outspoken against pregnant people's right to their own reproductive choices. In the role of secretary, you would be overseeing care for veterans and their loved ones across the entire ideological spectrum. Would you rescind the interim final rule enacted under the Biden administration that allows VA to provide abortion counseling and abortions in the case of rape, incest, or where the life or health of the veteran would be endangered?
Thank you, Senator. As we just discussed this just a moment ago, the VA Act in 1992 specifically forbid the VA from doing abortions.
Well, you do, excuse me. Let me just clarify something for you.
Senator, I'll be happy
to answer your
question.
You refer to a law that actually is being pretty much clarified by this interim final rule. And there is, as you know, debate regarding what the law allows. I believe the law allows this rule to be enacted. And my question to you is whether you would rescind this interim rule that would allow the providing of abortions
and senators,
to veterans who, under circumstances of rape, incest, or where her life is endangered. Would you rescind the rule?
Senators, I was answering your question. We will look at this rule and see if it complies with the law. As you just said in your own answer, it is a debatable issue. We're going to look at it and make sure that the VA is following the law.
Well, of course, if you provide these kinds of services, you are providing all the veterans the full range of care for reproductive services as needed, regardless of your ideological position.
Senator, my ideological position is based in the law, and I will follow the law in this regard. And if your question is, I would have loved to have sat down and talked with you before this hearing, and we could have explained this because I believe the law is clear.
Asking you under oath, do you believe that world-class care, quoting you, includes a full range of reproductive services?
I believe that the range of care provided at the VA is following the law and the intent of this body as it is set forth in the law.
And if the way you interpret the law will disallow services to 2 million women veterans in the U.S., including 13,000 in Hawaii, you would do so. That's what you just testified.
As that I have just testified, and looking at this, I will take a look at where the law stands. And as you also testified in your questioning, you said it has been a debatable topic that was just changed 2 years ago.
Well, I certainly hope that you would interpret there is a rule that actually interprets the law in a particular way, and you're saying that it all depends.
I understand the rule, ma'am.
VS has and you're not responding to whether or not you will rescind that rule, which provides care for thousands of female veterans.
Senator, I'm
VA
trying
has
to
over
attempt to answer your question.
450,000 employees and contracts with hundreds of thousands of private providers across the country. Can you explain what roles you have held that would have prepared you for leading such a large organization?
I'd love to, Senator. I have been a part of this body in which I have actually overseen and working through votes and working through bills that actually affect the VA's operation from a day-to-day operation. I understand the policy of the VA intimately by being a member just like you. I've also spent time in the military working with many individuals and currently serve at the Warner Robins Air Force Base in Africa Command of our chaplain's office with over 656 personnel working across different MAGCOMs, handling personnel decisions. I've also been a leader in many other ways, and I believe that leadership is how you deal with this. You do with leadership and putting good people in good positions to make sure that you have
Thank
a
you.
workforce that knows that they have it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.